this week?
Same as last week. We'll name him, and then if he passes the test that he needs to get through, then yeah, we'll go from there.
Are you concerned now that he's failing?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, we'd much prefer it that he would be declared fit to play and then we just play him. But it's a bit more complicated than that, and we have to ensure that everything's right before we select him.
So you're flying out Friday. So when do you make that call? Will you bring it forward to tomorrow, Thursday?
Well, last week we made it on the Friday. I think it's the same thing though. Being an interstate game, we'll take Kurt away with us, and we'll make a decision when we're up there. But so far this week it looks really good. He's been training really well, and I said that last week as well though. But yeah, he's been training really well and things look really good. So hopefully he gets through and plays on Saturday.
If it's possible to simplify, like what about the test is it that he's missing at the moment? Is it like reaction times, or is it some memory stuff? What's involved? It's
really complicated. I don't know the answer to that myself, but some of it's to do with reaction time, some of it's to do with concentration, but it's all pretty complicated and complex. Obviously the brain's yeah, pretty full on, so we'll have to make sure we make the right call, and it's all with our medical team. It's not my call. Yeah, I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't really know. Like, I'll leave that with sort of the medical team, and last week I said I was really confident Kurt would play, and then we were still really confident up until sort of the last session on the Friday, and then the medical team come to me and say, yeah, unfortunately he's not ready to play. So I can't fight him on that and say we'll just pick him. I have to listen to what the medical team says, and it'll be the same again this week. Kurt's saying the right things. Watching him training looks great. Looks really fit and strong and ready to play. It's just the last couple of tests that we've got to ensure that he's medically fine to play.
He's not training at the Gabba. Does he train with you at the Gabba? Then you make a call.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he'll do his last screening after our training session on Friday. So once again, we'll pick him. We'll take up an emergency or two just to make sure we've got cover. And if he gets the green light, he'll certainly play. If not, we'll bring one of our emergencies in.
While we're still waiting to finish or to get these tests passed, Brenton, is there things at training he still can't do? You've got to keep him out of at the moment until he gets past that?
No, physically he's fine. Yeah, everything. It feels like he's been ready for 2 or 3 weeks now, sort of physically. It's just, I guess, mentally. That's the last couple of tests we've got to ensure that he gets through. And yeah, I'm really confident that he'll play this week. But I must admit, I did say that last week as well.
So, Bruce said he's 99% sure that Tippett's going back to Queensland. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think he'll stay?
I hope he does stay, yeah. I mean, he hasn't signed his contract yet, and we'd love for him to sign. Still quietly confident that that'll get done, but I guess the longer that it draws out in the season, you get more nervous as a coach. But at the moment, my focus is obviously getting the team ready to play. You know, obviously Brisbane this week, and then obviously a finals campaign. But yeah, still quietly confident that Kurt will want to join us for the short term as well.
You talk to him about that. I mean, there's a meeting, a well-documented meeting taking place in Brisbane Friday night between your management and Kurt's management and yep. Kurt. Will you go to that?
No, I won't be part of that one, but I've got a great relationship with Kurt, and I know if you speak to Kurt, I'm sure that he says he likes his coach and he likes his playing group, and he does enjoy this footy club. But whether that's the issue why he's not signing, I'm not sure. You'll have to ask him that question. But yeah, at the moment, it's been a distraction because of his concussions. I think that's probably blurred the environment a little bit, because maybe it would have got done either yes or no if it wasn't the setbacks with the concussions. But we're still confident that once he gets back and playing, that he'll make a decision that he can stay.
All the talk's been about signing with Adelaide or moving back to a Queensland club. If it turned out that he'd been entertaining talk with other clubs or moved to another club altogether, would that be disappointing, or even you'd feel a bit betrayed?
Not so much. I think it's probably the environment a little bit now. I mean, we've got a group of young guys here that want to be part of a really bright future for the footy club, and we've seen some great signings for us already this year. And if Kurt decides to stay, it makes us stronger. If he decides to go at the season's end, well then, you know, we'll make adjustments to our squad and we'll get on with business. But as I said, I'm still quietly confident that he's going to re-sign with us and be part of our future going forward.
Is it your understanding that it's a choice between either Adelaide or a Queensland club?
I'm not sure, yeah. I mean, and hopefully it's an Adelaide club, but if Kurt decides that he wants to go at the end of the year, then we'll make adjustments to our squad and we'll bring some new players in and identify some young talent that we can add to this exciting group.
Do you want to know as soon as he's made his decision, and if you do, would you want him to keep playing here if he decides to leave?
Yeah, I think so. If he wants to leave, he should tell us, and then we can get on with trying to find replacements. But if he hasn't made his mind up, then yeah, that's his call, that's his decision. We'd love for him to stay, but at the same time, we've got to look what else is available for us as well. Longer that he doesn't re-sign.
So you'd pick him if he did say he's going to leave?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Oh yeah, I would for sure.
Is it fair to say it's now becoming a bit of a distraction?
For me, no. For the playing group, no. But you'd have to ask Kurt that. I'm not sure. I know he's had to deal with that a little bit in the past here, so perhaps he's used to it. But for me, no, and for the playing group, no.
Is there a danger that if it does drag on as it is, that it could become a bit of a distraction for the club?
Well, maybe, yeah. If it gets longer, it goes in the season, yeah. If there's the speculation externally, depends how much players absorb external comments and distractions. But at the moment, it's not. No, we're really focused on beating Brisbane this week and putting our best side out there, and hopefully Kurt's part of that. The longer the season goes, we'll just keep trying to do that.
Given the excitement around the list and what's in store, there's a part of him that wants to go home. Is it better that he just goes?
Yeah, you have to ask Kurt that. I know eventually he'll have to face the media and talk about it. They're probably questions more for Kurt.
Like you said you pick him, obviously. Is that because it's like Flocky didn't play the last couple of games when we found he was going interstate? Is that because obviously you feel he's a very important part of your premiership chances still?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, we'll certainly pick our best 22 each week now leading into the finals. And then, yeah, finals obviously cutthroat. We want to pick our best team. And from a selfish point of view, we want to win. And you've got to put your best 22 out there. While he hasn't made a decision, we'll still keep picking him because he hasn't made a decision.
Even if he did make a decision saying, and you said you'd like to know, if he says he's going to go, you'd still pick him to play in your final side?
If it's not a distraction for the rest of the group, yeah, I think we've still got to pick your best team available if you want to succeed. If it's not a distraction for the team, then we'll certainly pick him.
Dave McKay, Chris Knight, so are their contract negotiations on hold until you sort out what's happening with Kurt?
No, not so much. I think they're pretty much where they should be. I'm probably the wrong guy to ask about that too. Again, it's probably Dave Noble or Phil Harper should be commenting on them. But as far as I know, those boys are well and truly into their the back end of their contract negotiations.
One guy you have signed, Sam Shaw. How would you assess him this year, given I guess the past 2 years he's really struggled to get on the path?
He's had a really good season. He's part of that young, exciting back group. I know, Dowdy and Rutten and probably Riley are the three that are really experienced and really holding that group together. But there's some exciting young players coming through in that group as well. So yeah, it's great to have Sam Shaw as part of that with Talia. They've both had great seasons.
How would you describe his character, I guess, to persist through those two? I know you weren't here during those 2 years, but...
Yeah, it's a good point because I didn't know much about him before I came, to be honest. It was only through the pre-season and obviously in those early matches through the NAB Cup where we saw a bit of him, and he's been super impressive. The games he's played, he's been rock solid for us as a defender.
So how important is it to get Kurt up and firing and in form if you're going to win the flag?
Yeah, it's really important. Really important. I mean, we've won games without him, but at the same time, he's in our best 22 and he really helps our forward structure. So, yeah, it's important that we get him up and going and hopefully in good form leading into September.
Were you known at some stages and have a quiet chat with you and personally ask him for an answer?
Oh, not so much, no. I mean, part of the art of coaching is your relationship with players, and I've got a great relationship with Kurt, and I speak to him every day, and it's not always about football either, It's like we don't always just talk about footy, and I don't just sit him down and say this is how it's going to work. But I feel like I can trust him and he can trust me, and I'm sure when you ask him, I'm sure he's going to say that he's got a great relationship with his coach.
Given his importance to the team, is it concerning for you that there's, I guess, the pressure to come back after all these weeks on the sideline, and also with this, I guess, a decision like this hanging over his head, in terms of how that can impact him going into a final series?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. He hasn't. I mean, we can't expect miracles when he comes back either. We can't just slot him in and he's played his first game in, or he's played, I think, 4 games in about the last 8 or 9, and they've all been, just been in and out with the concussion. So we can't expect him just to slot back in and dominate. It's going to take him a bit of time. So as we said, we've got to ensure that he gets back in, gets fit, gets in form, hopefully for the right time of the year for us. So whether it's a distraction for him, he's probably the only one that can answer that. But for me, no. For the rest of the team, no.
For pleasure, playing this week?
He'll be really close. He trained really well today, and he might be another one that we wait a little bit later. But he's really close, and he's another one that's really important for our structure and our setup. So I would love for him to be back this week.
Brenton, how important to you and the club would a minor premiership be?
It'd be nice. I wouldn't lie. It'd be nice to finish the home and away season at the top of the ladder. If it was the English Premier League, they'd give us the trophy. They don't have finals. But no, it'd be a nice little confidence booster for the club, coming off 14th last season and only 7 wins. It'd be a great turnaround for the club, and the players certainly deserve some recognition, I think, for what's been a great year for them. But then the new season starts. September's a different year, or a different month altogether. Footy changes in September, becomes a lot harder, a lot more aggressive. The pressure increases. So perhaps judge us on September as well this year.
Do you at any point say we've got a minor premiership up for grabs in round 23?
No, not so much. I think what we aim for is to make the 8, and then as it gets closer and closer, you'd love to finish in the top 4 because of the double chance and a chance for a home prelim if you win. And then when you get in the top 4, you think, gee, it'd be nice to finish in the top 2 to get a home final in the first week. So you're continually just adjusting where your expectations and where you'd like to finish, but we've just got to keep winning. Brisbane's a really important game for us this week. We've got to go up there and play our way and win just to keep that sort of top 2 chance alive.
Was Nick Ball's house being disrespectful in saying Sydney and Adelaide weren't worthy of top 2 spots?
Not so much. To be honest, it upset me for about 2 minutes, and then it just I let it wash over me a little bit, and I love Mick. He was a great coach, and he's got so much respect in the AFL community, and if he thinks we're not worthy of a top 2 finish, then he's probably right. But it upset me for a couple of minutes.
Who do you think are the best 2 teams in the comp right now?
I really think anyone in the top 8 can win it this year, and that's not a lie. I think if you finish in the 8 this year, it's one of those seasons where anyone's got an opportunity, but you'd have to be fearful of Hawthorn, Collingwood, Sydney, Geelong, if they make it, a fantastic side. Essendon pushed us here a couple of weeks ago, so that's everyone. It's going to be one of those years, I think, where if you're fit and in form in September, there's every chance you could win a premiership.
Brenton, how much do you get to the point now where you're obviously still thinking week by week, but knowing what September's about, being at Geelong, that you start to think and plan for a few weeks down the track, or is it still the one game?
We'll keep with the playing group our focus really narrow, so the next opponent, and you can't flirt with your form. I know we saw Geelong beat Collingwood in the last round last year by 100 points, and people said it doesn't matter because it didn't affect the ladder and all that sort of stuff, but you've just got to be in form and fit at the right time of the year. So we won't adjust how we play. We'll still go out and be ruthless with how we attack every match, and that starts with us with being Brisbane this week. But we've certainly got our forward scouting team and our opposition analysis people are really good at keeping one eye down the track. So we're looking at who we might play in the first week. But with the playing group, it's all about their next opponent. So it's all about Brisbane this week.
What about player management in terms of niggles and things like that? You start to think, okay, the next couple of weeks might sit somewhere out knowing they'll be better.
Yeah, I think you just take less risks with pushing players out because of the timing of the year. So, for example, poor Pleasure, if we were 8th or 9th or 10th and just needed to win, he might have played last week. But you've got to have a healthy list and the start of September, and we're making decisions with managing players through the week, but also too a little bit on match day. The Sam Jacobs won against Geelong a few weeks ago. Maybe would have played this week, for example, if we needed to win. So we've probably got the luxury a little bit about not taking unnecessary risks this time of the year.
So why did his comments upset you for 2 minutes?
I just think we've had a really good year. I just think, if you count the NAB Cup, we've won 20 games from 24. And I think we've beaten some decent sides in that 20. So I just think that, you know, we're really playing well. We're trying our best to, you know, gain their respect back in the competition. We've kicked, I think, 576 more points than what we did at this time last year. So that's almost 100 goals more we've kicked this year at round 19. So I think we're going okay. I think we're playing some good footy, but we'll probably be judged on our September form as well, and that's I understand that too. So hopefully we go okay and we play well and we upset a few teams later in the year.
You'd have to be happier though, people underestimating you rather than the
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be the underdog. I think sometimes, yeah, it's better to be the hunter rather than the hunted. This side's played well this year though, and we've had some bad quarters. We've had a couple of bad games. You know, we've been beaten by some good sides. But at the same time, we've played really well against some good sides as well. So it's that time of the year. Can't wait for September. But for us, nothing changes. We've got to make sure we play well against Brisbane this week.
You talked before about September be all and end all, but do you think you battle harder for September because it is a different game?
Yeah, the game does change obviously in September, and you have to prepare a side that plays well in September. You've got to play a certain way throughout the year, and maybe some clubs in the past have played a way that's enabled them to get in the 8, but their game plan hasn't stood up in finals. So I said, I think from the first day that I was here, we're going to play a way that we hopefully stands up in September. So that's the contested ball, winning clearances, good balance of attack and defence. So those sort of things we've got to ensure plays well and stands up in September.
So, of your last 3 home and away games, probably Brisbane away is probably the toughest on paper. How do you rate them?
Oh, they're good. It's good. I mean, they beat West Coast up at the Gabba early this season, and they're a good side at the Gabba too. And they've still got some players who, got some incredible talent. So the names like Redden, Rockcliffe, Black, Rich, Brown. So they've still got some talent, and they've got a good emerging group of players coming through. So once again, it seems like I say it every week, but we have to be at our best to beat these sides. And if we go up there with fat heads, looking for a holiday, they're going to really embarrass us. So we'll ensure that we go up there with the right attitude and hopefully get the win.
How pleased were you with David Kay's return last week?
I love that goal. We showed it 3 times today from every angle. He's really important for us, just gives us great drive. He's got speed, he's got calmness, makes great decisions. Really important that he's in good form for us at the right time of the year. And as I said, that goal last week was something that just changed we were 2 goals up, but put us 3 goals up, and it just gave the crowd and gave the boys such a great lift. So yeah, I'm really happy that he's in good form.
Certainly showed that his toe wasn't an issue.
Yeah, his toe won't be an issue now. I don't think. He was fine.
The medicos, how close did they say Kurt Tippett was last week? Did they give you that kind of detail, or did they just say yes or no? More so yes or no, yeah. Like I said, I don't fight them. If they say Kurt's not ready to play, then I don't ask too many questions about why not. I know you get frustrated and you say, well, he trains so well and he looks so great and he wants to play, but you can't fight him. I mean, it's their call, and I'm happy to respect that. Is there much input from the AFL as well, players? Any of that's just all in-house?
Not so much. Our doctor has been in consultation with the AFL with how it's rolling, but he doesn't take advice like from play him or don't play him. It's our doctor's call.